Good evening, all. Today's our section, day 7. Our topic is microcontroller classification. If we go with the microcontroller is a brain of any type of a robot or else any type of a system which we are going to deal and which we are going to do the projects. And how was our brain functionality is going on, like that the microcontroller is the brain for the devices to make the functionality in the classification by the coding. Okay, here we can learn the what was a microcontroller and what was the classification of microcontroller and bit addressable memories, and how many types of bits will be, and that bits how it will be going to classified, and the memory architecture we are going to learn. uh, in the memory architecture, how was the addressable memories has been located, and what was the bit addressable memories, and that bit addressable memories how it is going to be give the actual locality of the particular task that we are going to learn here. In the memory architecture, the microcontroller and also microprocessor for that matter are classified at various levels. One of the method of classification is memory architecture. Yeah, and memory architecture refers to the way microprocessor or the microcontroller addresses that memory for its use, and memory as we have discussed in required to do two purposes. Yeah, firstly we have to know the what was the difference between the microprocessor and the microcontroller. In the microprocessor, whatever the data we are giving for that microprocessor, it is going to be a process that data in a particular way, and it is giving the output for the output devices. In the microcontroller, what it does in the microcontroller means every type of a command it is going to be do by itself, and taking the instructions from the gesture, and it is doing by itself, that is processing, and it is controlling each and every device like in the sensors and the processors, each and everything it is controlling by itself. That's why this is a microprocessor and microcontroller is going to be manage all the devices. Microprocessor is going to be process the particular data. This was the difference between these two. And here in the memory architecture, there will be a different type of classification. In that classification, there will be located in the different type of flow variables. Now you are going to see that how was the architecture is going to be of a microcontroller. Yeah, here when we go within it, the microcontroller, firstly we need in it the particular device. Okay, in that particular device we will be getting the program ROM and RAM and sticking data, stick data, and these all the things will be work like an if you think this is an a one CPU, central processing unit. Memory space, whatever the memory space, here they have allocated said that the memory space means whatever the data we are going to store in these particular areas, like rom is RAM is random access memory, ROM is read only memory. Mean that the ROM it makes the like a normal brain, and this is an abnormal brain. If we compare with a human, normal brain, what it thinks, everything it can see, but everything it will won't store if for any particular time. But abnormal brain, it stores the every data which are important to us. We think that our phone number, if we recognize that phone number, yeah, this is my phone number, this is the labeling of that, this is my father's phone number, we'll be recognizing that. But each and every phone number we are not recognizing, that is ROM, and our phone number we are recognizing, that is RAM. That was the difference between RAM and ROM. Here you can get it. And data address and control, here the memory infrastructure unit, this is in a memory infrastructure unit. and whatever the data we are going to be store over here, it will be data processing to the bit addressable memory, that is memory infrastructure unit. In this unit, that is going to be addressing, and after addressing of this memory unit, whatever the data it is transmitting, data transmitting, address transmitting, and as well as control what the data, whatever the data is there in here, it is going to be transfer here. And addressable memory, how it is going to be identify that this data only I need it, the instructor and whatever the data we are needed, we for each and every data we are giving in the particular address naming methodology. That address naming methodology, it is going to be in a detect, yeah, it is there in the particular place in this here. I have to enrich that data to my memory unit. Yeah, it is going to be enrich that data from this particular portion by detecting of an address. And controls, whatever the command modes and the control accesses is there for that particular file, it is going to be use that control accesses for this particular object. And here instruct and decode, instructions decode mean in this decode and the encode. Decode means it is going to be translate from the binary to octa, and encode means octa to binary, mean that the mission language to general language, the general language to mission language. The mission language, it will be in a 0 and 1. Mission language, it will be 0 1 0 1, like this. That mission language will be, it is going to be a decode that data. And whatever the, if you write the one name like COME, come, mean that whatever the data, sorry, whatever the data or whatever here we written, and this is in the general language word, but here in the mission language word, it is going to be a decode that, yeah, 0 means C, and 1 means O, and 0 means M, 1 means E, like that. It is going to be a decode that data in a particular mission language, and the mission can understand, yeah, this is in that particular data I have to be in a proceed. This is one type of processing. And another type of processing is that processor core and the compiler and the data sketchpad and instruction sketchpad. Here the processor is going to be a process whatever the microprocessor or microcontroller, it is going to be a process the data over here and transmitting from processor core to the compiler. The compiler is going to be a compile that particular data is to suit for this or not. And after getting that data in a particular area, yeah, this is in a particular related to that. Then after the memory allocation list, there will be the multiple type of files in that. It is going to be locate the particular file. Yeah, this is my file, I have to be compile this file. After getting that memory allocation data and memory allocation algorithm, we are going to apply the algorithm over here. Then after HDF model, HDF model means that whatever the high end definition of a frequency, it is going to be a module that particular data, and again it is transmitted to the data sketchpad, the data sketchpad, and as well as the data instruction sketchpad. Instruction sketchpad is going to be give the particular instructions for that data, and the data sketchpad, it is going to process that compiled data. It is going to be encoders and passing to one place to another place. Here we can see the data and then after sorry, and here we can see the data and particular things that instruction sketchpad. In the instruction sketchpad there will be a multiple, I mean that the instructions will be multiple instructions. In that in multiple instructions, the particular way of an instruction it is going to give for that particular data. There it is going to be a process. And here the data address bus. The data address bus and the memory address bus. Data address bus means that whatever the data addressing of a data, it is transmitting from one place to another place, which you the output of that data. Mean that the output data memory, here you can see that the data memory it is getting the data from this particular object, like in a data address bus and the data bus. Data bus and the data address bus means whatever the data it will be transmitting from here. When this the data scratch card, this data is going to transmit by this data bus, and the address bus instruction scratch card, yeah, instructor is going to instruct that only the this address bus is interrelated to this particular data. This is going to give the address for this data, and this all the address and the data it is going to be stored at the data memory. This was a process in the data memory. Here the programmable memory means the ROM. Here we have studied that ROM. The programmable memory, there will be an instruction data bus and the instruction data buses. Okay, here in the instruction data buses, here it is going to be an act like an instructions instructing programming. Mean that it is going to be instruct that, but it is not going to be stored in the particular data. It is just instructing that to be yeah, you has to be over here. It is giving the memory allocation process. Yeah, you have to be over here only. It is just instructing, but it is exactly not going to be stored. But here the data memory, the data it is going to be stored in this particular place, but here just the instructions is going on. This was the another process of architecture. And broadly we need two types of memories. One is the ROM and the other is RAM. Yeah, previously which you have studied. A ROM device would have of cause of electronic devices need a power supply pin that does with saying, so it requires a VCC and the ground, and right now we are considering the ROM. Yeah, if we think that this is in a ROM, in this ROM whatever the particular objects we need it, VCC we need it for the power supply, and CS we need it, OE we need it, M mean that ground, and the address bus and the data bus. Data has to be in a process over here, and address bus it is going to give the address for that particular data. The VCC is going to be useful for giving the power supply, and CS is going to be used like that the central circuit that like an output or else an input. The OE is useful for that the object aggregation, mean that whatever the data of an addressable memory that is going to be transmit by the object allegation. By the object allegation it is going to give in a particular object, this data is going to transfer in that particular object, I mean that the particular device. We say that in the here you can see that the data bus means the data how much it is going to be stored 8, and the address bus it is 12. It is 2 is the factor of 12 is equal to 4096, mean that here we can get in a 4 KB bytes, 4 kilobytes. Here we can get the data, the 4 kilobyte can be stored in the ROM, but it can be erased after some time, but in the particular time it is going to be stored in the ROM and RAM. One more example, that if you are working at your laptop, or in your system, you are doing the particular work and you didn't save that data. Mean that the data is there, the data address is there, but you didn't save that data. If you save that data, it is going to be save at the RAM. But if you not save the data and you are going to process that particular object, it is stored in the ROM. If the suddenly the power has gone, mean that whatever the data which you worked on the ROM, I mean that whatever the data you worked in this particular process without saving, that all will be erased. But if you whatever the data you have been saved at previously, that data will be in a safe mode by the addressable memory. This was the difference between ROM and RAM. One more, and the way the RAM work is for a RAM devices, we have the almost identical configuration expert a couple of one or more extra lines. So we have the VCC here, we have the ground, the data bus. I am going to write it here now, yeah, because it is the RAM, meaning you can read as well as write data. Yeah, here you can see that whatever the data you are going to use in the RAM, it can be read and writable memory. Why means already you have saved that data, particular data, and you can rewrite or else re-editable. But whatever the data you have stored in the ROM, it is also an editable, but it is not in a permanent, it is on a temporary basis, which is stored at the ROM. But which is stored in the RAM, it is in a permanent until and unless you delete that particular data variable data of that file. And here in the RAM, there will be in a the 60 yeah, here we can see that the fact that is a legacy issue with the 60% and the TTL and the TTL performed activity. TTL means that the time, whatever the time it is working in this particular time and the particular data, the time which the data which is transferring from one file to another file, it should be transferred in a particular time only. Otherwise the data it can be meshed out. That's why we are giving in the particular time variancy for that data. You have to transfer this much bit has to be transferred in this much time. In 1 second, one bit has to be a transfer, or else in a 1 KB has to be a transfer, or 1 GB has to be a transfer according to the data and whatever the it is transferring by the TTL. This is the RAM variances. And here you can see the RAM diagram. There, whatever the data addressable memory is there, and here also addressable memory, I mean that addressable bus and the data bus. Addressable bus is going to be at over here, and the data bus is going to be at over here. And there also the CS has been added and OE has added. But here one more thing, WR has been added over here. WR, read and write. Again, you can read and write means that where the data over there, it can be data be at the data, and it can be give the addressable address for that particular data, but it has not been stored. But here you have one more option that you can rewrite, I mean that re-editable process. That's why the WR we are going to use at this particular RAM. You can read and write whatever the particular data in this RAM. And the VCC is same, that power connectivity, and M is for in a ground, and this all the pins which we have discussed at the previously, that all the things this. And SRAM and DRAM. I mean that here we are getting then the RAS, the data structure, or whatever the data we are going to transmit from one place to another place within the particular address. I mean that here we are transferring, after transferring of a file, that it is transferring with the address and as well as the data. That's why the whatever the real how I need to say, man, that whatever the real data it will be, that real data is going to be transferred for in another device or else in another place in a particular time. And here, bit handling capacity, we can see that the bit handling, the bit means whatever the bit and the byte will be, according to the bit and byte the memory storage will be done. And how was the bit and byte it will be means, here you can see that the bit is in the memory, there will be an, if this is in a chip, there will be an multiple rows and the multiple channels, sorry, multiple columns. According to that multiple rows and the multiple columns, it is going to be a work. And if this is a mesh of that, we are going to give for that. And if you think that like this only, there will be the thousands of layers, the siliconic layers it will be. In these siliconic layers there will be if we think that this is in a 1 bit, this is 2 bit, 3 bit, like that the bit addressable locations has been initiated for this. And after doing of this, there will be the final product like in a 1 GB, yeah, 2-layer production and 1 GB. 1 GB it is going to, yeah, this is in a 1 GB memory card, we can say. How it will, we are going to say, by the silicon layers will be formed in this the particular stepwise, and it is going to be give the data addressable locations. In that particular location the data is going to be stored in that particular location. According to that location, it is going to be make our yeah, sorry, it is going to process our data. That was a process over in the bit addressable. In this bit addressable there will be an 8 bit and the 4 bit, 8 bit, and this all the things. Here we can see that this is the one of a method of a classifying microprocessors or microcontrollers, that is does that microcontroller that you are using, does it often own numer architecture. Yeah, here only you can see that the own numer architecture and the Harvard architecture. The own numer architecture and the hardware architecture, it is going to be work over here. The own numer architecture is that whatever the particular data and the bit addressing techniques will be, in that particular locative data only the address has to be in that particular address only the data has to be stored, often interrelated to that. That's why the von Neumann and the Harvard architecture is that. And then the different level of a classification, it is bit handling capacity, that is how many does the bits can it handle simultaneously. Yeah, this all the questions will be arranged at your mind. And what options we have? We have 4-bit data, 8-bit data. This is the size of the data buses. Yeah, whatever the data buses, we are storing that in a particular area, particular size, according to the 4-bit, 8-bit, or else 16-bit, 32-bit address buses will be. According to that address buses, the data is going to be stored, and that particular data of storing, it is going to be a process by the allocation. And if we are looking at, we are the microcontrollers is of the Harvard architecture, then it refers to the data bus size of the data memory, not necessarily the program memory. And so we are taking of 4-bit data bus, 8-bit data bus, 16, and so on. So further, and then we have what is called as the instruction set architecture. I am going to continue with the, yeah, instruction set architecture, there will be a different type of instruction set. Like the 4-bit data bus will be, 8-bit data bus will be, 16-bit data bus will be, 32-bit data bus will be. Here, how you can find that the particular data and the particular bit, according to that bit, the whatever the processor and the whatever the you can say that whatever the OS will be worked in your particular systems, that OS is going to be a work for that particular bit addressable memory. And yeah, how in the easy way how you need to get it means that in the photos will be in a different sizes. There will be in a pass photo and there will be in a large photo. The large photo size is another thing and the pass photo size is another thing. In any type of an application form you are going to be fill in that application form, they are going to be ask the 1 MB of a file, but the whatever the large photo it will be, that will be in a more than 1 MB, but the pass photo size it will be in a less than 1 MB. Is there? And which one it will be take? The pass photo only it will take. It will don't take the large photo. Why? I mean that whatever the addressable memory address that it is asked, not only address, whatever the bit it is asking, the storable capacity, according to that storable capacity only it is going to be take. If the more than the storable capacity it is coming, it will oppose that particular data. Yeah, you are not sufficient at my particular area, you go for the another data bus, otherwise you stay over there only. Whatever the memory it is sufficient to me, I'm going to take that memory. They say that according to that, the whatever the data it will be, the data will be settled over there. And here we will be getting that memory chips. For example, we are getting in the chip within a 512 location. Yeah, we are seeing in our daily life that the HDD is 512 MB and the SDD is 512 MB. What do you think by that? The 2 GB RAM is there, 4 GB RAM is there, and 1 TB HDD is there. How it will we going to get it that according to the location of a particular memory, according to the particular processor, the addressable memory it is going to be give in the working space and the working actions it is going to be run. According to that, it is going to work in the 512 MB is that means, and the 512 MB is that means in that particular 512 MB storage only will be worked. If you install the more than that 512 MB filled up after, if you install any more, it will oppose that particular data. Why? Means already the whatever the data has been filled in that particular area, it has been filled for that. It is not sufficient for another particular task. That's why it is going to be opposed. And the 2-bit data. And in our laptops, we see that it is in a 512 MB or else in a 1 TB HDD, and the 16-bit memory or else in a 32-bit memory it will be. When you go within a settings, there you can get it, the 32-bit, 16-bit. In our mobile phones also, you will be getting that. And if you go with to install any type of a software, mean that in the OS only, if you go do want to install in a particular app or particular task, they are going to be asking the two types. One is the it is supported for the 32-bit only. It is supported for the 16-bit only. If your lappy is 32-bit, you have to install for a 32-bit, and if the lappy is 16-bit, you have to install for the 16-bit. Why? Means whatever the particular OS is done for that particular object only, particular address bus only, particular the dimensions only. But in the another thing, it is going to be get the another particular dimensions. That's why we have to go with that particular by using of instructions. With has a memory size is 512 into 2 is equal to 1024 bits. Here, have you got that? How they are going to be intercalculate that? There will be an address location. Address is that 512, and the data bus is that 2 GB, sorry, 2 bit, 2 bit data bus, and as well as the addressable location is in a 512. 512 into 2 is equal to the 1024 bits. It is the total capability of an area is that the 1022, mean that 1 GB 24 KB or something else it will come. Like that much capability it has to be stored that particular data by interrelated between the location and as well as the data transmission. Since the standard unit of a data is a byte, 8 byte, the above storage capacity is normally given as a 1024, and the 8 byte data, if you divided by the 8 byte data, 128 bytes it will be. Bits it will be, and the bytes it will be. Bit uh, is equal to the sum of the bits is equal to the 1 byte, and sum of the bytes is equal to the 1 KB, and some KBs are equal to the 1 MB, and one some MAs are equal to the 1 GB, and some GBs are equal to the 1 terabyte, and zegabyte, octabyte. Like that, it is going to be an increase by using of bits, bytes, and the KBs and the MBs, like that. This was the addressable memories and the addressable storage capacities. By using of this, the particular task we can do, the number of locations may be obtained from the address width of chip. Okay, for example, a chip with 10 address lines has a 2 to the power of 10 is equal to 1024. In the 2 bit, if we integrate, if there is a chip swap of 10, yeah, how we are going to calculate here, I'm going to show you. If there is a layer of chip is 10, first layer and second layer and third layer, this was the layers, and the two, what is that, bytes, 2 byte. In this is 1 byte and this is another byte. Till here only we are thinking, and this is whatever the layers is there, 10 layers, and we are intercalculating this 2 into the power of 10. We calculate to the 2 into power of 10, and whatever the total area of this is 2, 1 and 2. Only these two we have taken like in a byte, these 2 bytes. In these 2 bytes there are going to be the 10 chips, like in the chip locations of 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, the 10 layers it will be. According to that layers, we are going to calculate how much data it can store. 2 to the power of 10, if we calculate it with 1020, mean that the 1020 means more than 1 KB location, more than 1 KB location it can store. 1 kilobyte of a location it can store in this particular dimension of a chip, or else in this particular dimension of a particular object. Okay, like that we have to calculate. And given an 8-bit data with a 10-bit address chip has a memory size of 2 to the power of 10 into the 8. If we calculate into the 2 to the power of 10, mean that 1024 it will come. If the 1024 into the 8 is equal to 1024 into the 8 is equal to 1 KB into how many bytes? 1 byte is equal to how much it will come? 1 KB, kilobyte. Here there will be a K only, kilo only, and here the bytes are going to be add 8 bytes, 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. Okay, 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. Note it down, guys. 8 bits is equal to 1 byte. We are going to calculate like that, and we are getting what was the output? 1 KB. Like this we have to calculate for each and every chip. Either it is in a 32-bit, either it is in a 8-bit, either it is in a 16-bit. Whatever the bit it will be, according to the bit and the data addressable memories, that data addressable memory is transferred to the bytes, and that bytes are going to be convert to the kilobytes, and the kilobytes is going to convert to the final result of the kilobyte. Kilos is going to be convert into the a byte, integrated with the byte, and the final the output is the kilobyte. And here we can study about the instruction set of an architecture. In this instruction set mean that whatever the instructions we are instructing to the particular task, like in a gesture, whatever the gesture is doing the task, that you do this, you do this, and you make this particular task, and you do not make this particular task. Whatever the gesture, whatever the commands we are giving for that, that is called as an instruction set architecture. That instruction set architecture, it makes the precision data in a particular area. That instructions is going to be a continuous for a particular object. Yeah, you do this, okay, I'm going to do this particular task in this particular time. Instructor has been instructed, and the data receiver has been received that data, and going to be process that data in a particular time. Here you can see that the programming sequence of an instructions, the sequential instruction will be, and the parallel instructions will be sequential instructions, and the parallel instructions will be. And here we are learning that the sequential instruction atomic command that a processor understands. Processor understand means that automatic commands, whatever the commands which we are giving for the particular process, like on, off, go right side, go left side, this was the particular instructions we are giving. And how we can give the particular location for that, by using of an instruction methodology. In this instruction methodology, what it will be, like a op code plus a operand and the op code plus operand, it is equal to the from one addressable instruction. When that the whatever the instructions we are giving, there will be the multiple address. In the particular address only we has to give. If the row 1 we have kept for an address for that, for the row 1 only we has to give the instructions by us. We didn't have any particular access for another thing. If you want to access the two things, we can go within the row 1 and the row 2. A particular address, whatever the address we are going to mention, that particular address access only going to get for us. And in this opcode in the operand, add r1 r2 is equal to the r1, and the r1 r2 equal to the r3, and r1 plus r2. Here you are getting that r1 r2 equal to the r1, and here the output, it is going to get that r1 plus r2. That conversion of two adds, I mean that opcode and as well as an operand, it is going to be converts, and then the final output is going to be get in a particular time. That is instruction areas. And here you will be getting microcontrollers, 8-bit microcontroller. I hope that all the people has seen this particular object, the Arduino Uno. All the people, max to max, the second year and the third year people are been familiar with this. The first year means that they didn't do any projects. At the second, from the second year, they know this particular why means this was the most of the projects they are going to use this for using like in a brain of the particular robot. Whatever the instruction, here you can see that the 8-bit memory, and here the address will be 8 mega 382. The address it will be 382 8 mega. 8 mega means HTML mega. 8 mega 382. That it means the particular data storage 382 bytes or else 382 bits, or that addressable has been mentioned over here, the serial number for that microcontroller, that only we can insert for in this socket. and this is the 8-bit microcontroller. 8-bit means there will be 16 pins. You can see that if you divide into the sub parts of 4 channels, there will be 4 5 yeah, there will be 16 pins. 4 4s are 16, and here you will be getting the 256 kilobytes of a programming it is issue. And how it will be worked: firstly you have to give a power supply for this by using of a 3.3 volts or 5 volts, but the whatever the board it is there, it has a capability to take the power of the DC 5 volt 5 volt and the 3 ampere. 5 volt 3 ampere, this was the specification for the Uno board. It need a power supply for that much. And this is in the programmable C type socket, and this type of a socket it is useful for the inserting the program to the microcontroller. And this is a receiver and the transmitter. The if the whatever the data mean that whatever the program we are going to insert to the microcontroller, on that time the receiver light will be glowed, and whatever the data we are giving for an output like motors or else for any external sensors, like that the external devices which we connected with an Arduino Uno, which we are giving the instructions for that it makes that the transmitter light will be glow. And here you will be getting in a 3 types. One is in a power sockets and the analog input and the digital output. There will be an analog and the digital. Here you want to study that what was the analog and the digital. You all people know that what was the analog signal and the digital signal. Analog signal mean that whatever the data it flows within it, the mean that by the graphically structured, and the digital means that whatever the display we can see. Yeah, this is an exact thing. But analog data means that which the person cannot see but can assumption for the, yeah, this is in a particular data. It is going the flow from here to here. Yeah, this is in a how this was the range of this. We are going to initiate that analog data. Mean that analog means that if you want to use the digital, we need an LCD screen or something else. We want to see in the particular like that, we can use the digital pins. But in the analog pins we can useful for the motors or something, any external sensors or actuation system. These all the things we can use the analog pins. This was the thing of this. And here you can see that the AVR CPU, in this AVR CPU the processing will be done. And how the processing will be done, here you can see that there will be a flash memory, mean that it can erasable. The flash means it can erasable memory, and EEPROM and the NVIDIA. And bus matrix, in the bus matrix there will be a different type of a bus, like in the bus matrix there will be a topologies, that tree topology. I hope that in the first year you will be in the computer science, you are going to study that the tree topology, bus topology, and the what is star topology. Different type of topologies, it will be 6 or 8 topologies it will be. According to that topologies, how was the topologies of that a particular size or a particular shape, in that a particular shape, how was the data is going to be processed from host to sub host, host to receiver, and the receiver to transmitter, and the transmitter to again the customer. How it is the data is going to be transmit from one place to another place. What was the mediative techniques will be, and what was the actuation techniques will be, that all the things will be come under here. This is the AVR of a microcontroller. And here you can see that the 16-bit microcontroller. In the 16-bit microcontroller, whatever the 8-bit microcontroller it will be in the bits will be an increaser, over here, and the layers of the microcontroller, it will be increased according to that layers of a microcontroller. It is going to be an firstly you have seen that calculation, like that only into the 16 we are going to be calculate, and whatever the output it is going to be come in that output, it is we are going to be intercalculated with the particular address bus, and that address bus is going to give us an output. And what was the pin connectivity? You hope that you can see the integrated chips like this in the motherboards of every devices or any electronic devices, but you didn't know what was the internal circuit is going on, and how it is a interconnectivity between that, and how it is going to be process the data from one place to another place. What was the pin connectivity of a particular what we can say that the particular memory, or else the particular object. Here we can see that this is an internal memory of that, how it is going to be make it, and in this making how what was the pin addressables will be. In this pin addressable, what was the when that what was the empty pins, and what was the usable pins, and what was the digital connectivity pins, and what was the analog connectivity pins, and what is the power supply pins, and what was the EEPROM and the NPROM, what was the data inputs, data outputs, that all the things we can see over here. How it is going to be a work means that whatever the data we are going to be, if you want to give an input, we can give the input by the particular pins, and we are going to be define that particular pins at our coding, and that coding is giving whatever the coding we are giving, that the coding we are giving in the general language, that general language is going to be give the encoding data, sorry, decode that data, and it is going to be give that process in the machine language. The machine language can understand that language, and it makes that the resending of a data to the particular system, and the output is going to be generated. This the whole process will be done in this. And here you can see that 32-bit, like that the 8-bit, the 16-bit. 16-bit you have calculated before, and like that the 32-bit also going to be I mean intercalculated between for that, and according to that calculation there will be getting one bit addressable memory sizes, and that bit addressable memory sizes is going to be into, and it is going to be a divide. Then after the final output of the memory space is going to be get it. That memory space is that what was the whole the structure of a memory, and the whole the internal capacity of that memory we are going to be get by that. And here you can see that the Arduino Mega and the Arduino Uno, and RTX has been implemented over here. Here you can see that the processor of an RTX, and this was the whole the processor of this board, and like that if you insert in a program, that program it is going to be transmit for here, and the microcontroller or microprocessor, it is going to be process that data, or the controls that data, and it transfer from one place to the other place, which the input to the output of a particular object by using of this. Okay, yeah, this is all about today, guys.